Good day, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Realtor Mindset. This week in interest rate news, we've seen an uptick on the 30-year fixed interest rates on Friday, as well as today, Monday, July the 1st. And happy first day of July to everybody. So the interest rate uptick on Friday, the yield on the 10-year Treasury increased to 4.3%. As the yields move up, so do the interest rates. On Friday, there was speculation about the presidential debate, how housing affordability was not addressed from either candidate. And today, also, there was speculation in the marketplace about U.S. inflation and the overall deficit in the United States economy. So that also allowed for a sell-off of 10-year treasuries. So we're sitting about 4.5% on the yield. So transfer that over into real live interest rates for a 30-year fixed interest rate. Mortgage, I know there were a lot of experts at the beginning of the year speculating that this time of the year, we should, in the middle of the summer home buying season, we should be at about low 6%, 6.25%. Unfortunately, we're back to where we started in the beginning of the year, which is a high 6% range, really at 7%, pretty much, for a 30-year fixed interest rate mortgage. So no breaks as far as interest rate movement is concerned. I'll never predict the future on this show, but we're thinking that it's probably, this is going to be the new normal until November, until we have the election process, and then we'll see where we go with interest rates after that. So figure high 6% range, 7% range. We're in the middle of it for the remainder of the year up until November. So that's where we are with interest rates. For any questions on interest rates or just getting a quote as far as what you qualify for, please reach out to me. So, and as far as mindset goes, I listen to a lot of motivational speakers on Spotify, and I was listening to the Ed Mylett show, who's super motivational speaker. He's amazing, but he had a legend on his show, who's John Maxwell. Some of you may have read some of his books or heard of him. He's the godfather, or one of the godfathers of motivational speaking. And it's funny, one quote that I always remember is when people turn to him and ask him, how are you so successful and so confident in what you do? He'll turn to them and say, because I've done this, as far as speaking engagements and speaking in front of a live audience, I've done this 1,700 times. So that quote always stuck with me. So John Maxwell states there's three qualities for leadership that he purports, and I'm going to be reading some notes, but what John Maxwell is famous for saying is everything rises and falls with leadership. So as a company is rising and doing better and just increasing market share over time, a lot of that has to do with leadership and the decisions that leadership implement. The contrary is true as well. Whenever you see a company failing, going down in value and heading towards bankruptcy, a lot of that has to do with leadership as well. And being in mortgage lending for 25 years in banking, I've seen that, a couple of reiterations of that, especially through the great financial crisis of the 2008 year, 2008, 2009, when a lot of banks were failing. A lot of that had to do with leadership. So three qualities for a leader. Number one, become a possibilist. Become a possibilist. What's a possibilist? Possibilist, it's not an optimist. But it's someone that does see reality. They see the positives, but they also see the downsides as well. However, a possibilist also sees that there's possibilities involved for any challenge. So instead of stating the obvious, which could be a tough situation that you're in, okay, a possibilist states, here's where we are. It's going to be a challenge, and it's going to take us some time. But this is the possibility. And I'm determined through leadership that we're going to make it, and we're going to end up hitting our goals, exceeding our goals, and having a super successful company ahead of us. So become a possibilist. That's super important in leadership. I definitely like to think of myself as that as well, just taking the reality, but looking for the solutions. Number two, ethics, okay? Ethics. Doing the right things for the right reasons. And in some instances, when it comes to loan originating, there could be a situation where, listen, this is not the right loan for you at this time. Whether it's an applicant that is going through the process and then they just lost their job, well, you're probably not going to get a loan unless you get a co-borrower. So at this point in time, this is not the right loan for you. But ethics also brings me to the definition of a sale or in sales. What is the definition of a sale? Sale is having somebody do something for their benefit, not for your own benefit. So we're in the housing industry. For somebody to purchase a home, we all know, for all of us veterans in the housing industry, we all know that it's the best financial decision you can make in your life. I've lived this. My family's lived this multiple times, and I eat, sleep, and breathe that. So I'm confident that when a buyer buys a home, 9 times out of 10, they're going to make money or even a lot of money, and it's going to be the best decision that they've made. Probably 9.5 times out of 10, I would say. So that's ethics, doing the right thing for the right reasons, and treating others the way you'd like to be treated. I mean, let's face it. We all want to be treated a certain way. We all want it to be guided in an honest and reliable fashion with integrity. Wouldn't a customer that comes to us feel the same way? Absolutely. So that's, I may be stating the obvious, but that's, it's a beautiful thing when you place it in those terms. And number 3 is having confidence with values. So he said the combination of confidence with values is what drives a company forward and makes it successful. You can't have one without the other. If you have confidence but no values, eventually that's going to it's going to catch up with you. That means you're making wrong decisions for the wrong reasons. If you have values, that's a great thing, but no confidence, that could be a challenge as well. You're going to have a challenge having people follow you. Another great leader over in the past I like to follow is Vince Lombardi. He's one of the greatest football coaches ever. And he took a failing quarterback, a gentleman by the name of Bart Starr, who I believe was the 5th or the 6th best quarterback on the team. He had so much confidence in Bart Starr, and he had a real tough love way of coaching his players, that Bart Starr became the best quarterback in the NFL at that time. And he went on to win, I believe, 2 Super Bowls with him. And Bart Starr is now in the Hall of Fame, and he'll even, I think he's gone now, but I believe one of his speeches, he said, Vince Lombardi is the reason why I'm here today. And there are other stories that Vince Lombardi has of some players that, some players that were really ready to quit on the team, and he would grab them and say, listen, you're going to make the Pro Bowl this year, and you're going to make the Pro Bowl the next year, you're going to be the starting guard on this offensive line, and one day you'll make the Hall of Fame. And surely enough, there's more than one story about him. If you ever wanted to read up on Vince Lombardi, he was an amazing, amazing leader. So 3 tips for leadership. Become a possibilist, have your ethics, and you have a combination of confidence and values together. So that's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I love each and every one of you. Please comment below. Let me know what you think, and have an amazing day. Thank you.